Today on Seattle Refined, a ghost of General Hospital past reappears.
Do not let him make it outside. I repeat, do not let him make it outside.
Is he Jason? Is he patient 6? Who is this guy? We get the scoop on daytime's most jaw-dropping mystery.
So cool. Let's take a look inside.
Let's do it. Come on in.
Plus,
Wow, this is actually pretty big inside. This thing's awesome.
break out the s'mores. Refined goes camping in one of the coolest new trailers around. Then, if you love ghost stories, we'll take you to one of Western Washington's most haunted places where spirits put on a spooky show nightly. Seattle Refined starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. If you're a fan of the soaps, and even if you're not, chances are you've heard the buzz about the mind-blowing plot twist that's rocking daytime TV's General Hospital. And it has everyone asking the same question: who the heck is patient 6?
So stay with me here. Patient 6 starts out as a masked man in a wheelchair who turns up at a Russian hospital with a dark past and mysterious ties to Port Charles.
Patient 6 is loose. Everyone on alert.
By the time patient 6 escapes the hospital, his mask comes off, and lo and behold, his face looks awfully familiar. That's because it belongs to Emmy Award-winning actor Steve Burton, who played Jason Quartermain for more than 20 years on GH before leaving the soap back in 2012. So what gives? Will the real Jason please stand up? Joining us via satellite to hopefully help us sort it all out is Steve Burton.
This patient 6 storyline is just rocking daytime. Did you have any idea that your return would be such a big deal?
You never want to think anything's a big deal. But I know that historically on the show, my character, got to work with a lot of people and was a Quartermain. So I knew kind of it would shake things up a little bit. But you never really know how it's going to happen until you get there and start working. But for me as an actor, it's been fantastic. It's great to be home at General Hospital. Can't wait to work with, the cast and the storyline. I got to give it up to the writers. They're timing this out really well, and I don't even know what's going on. So, and when the actor doesn't know what's going on, that's a good thing.
I'm a little lost right now. If you come at me, I could kill you without meaning to.
When I signed on to come back, I really didn't even know the story of how I was coming back. So, I get my scripts a couple days in advance, so I'm just reading them like basically everybody else is watching the show. So it's been great.
So how did GH convince you to come back on the show? Was that difficult of a decision for you?
No, they said, "Will you come back?" I said yes, and that was pretty much that was pretty much the conversation. So again, I was there for 20 years, so coming home feels really good.
Oh, well, there are so many fans that are still pulling for you to kind of get back there with Sam. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I think Sam and Patient 6 will be crossing paths very soon. And, I know there may be another person of interest in her life at this point. So, of course, it's going to be a very interesting story to tell, for sure.
Yeah, what a storyline. This is such a great show. Well, your character, Patient 6, is dealing with a lot of changes of being removed from the world for 5 years, and you've been away from the GH set for 5 years. How are things changed there now?
It really hasn't changed a lot, to be honest. Things go a little faster now. General Hospital has 17 to 18 dark weeks a year, so we're doing a lot more shows in less days. So that's really all that's changed. Basically, the cast is there still. The crew I grew up with is still there. It really felt like going home for me.
Yeah, it sure does. Well, I know that you said at one point that you're going to be back on the GH set for a while. What does a while mean? I mean, a lot of fans know what the word a while means for you, Steve.
A while means that I signed for 3 years, and hopefully I'll be there 30 more.
I ran into some trouble.
All right, did you know that I was on GH about 3 months ago? Did you happen to see the 3.5 seconds when I made an appearance?
Nope, I blinked.
You know, it's what I blinked too.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I blinked too, and I missed it. Also, did you know that I actually wore this black T-shirt in honor of you? Because I know you always have a black T-shirt on, like today.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I love the black T-shirt. Can never go wrong with the black T-shirt.
All right, patient 6. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations on coming back to GH. I know so many people are excited about it.
Thank you, Guard.
GH occupies a special place in the hearts of its fans, and that includes me. Earlier this year, I somehow even managed to finagle myself a part on the legendary soap.
Refine went behind the scenes of General Hospital down in Los Angeles a few months ago. We chatted with the stars, and I was even on set to be an extra in a restaurant scene. But it turns out the executive producer had a bigger surprise for me.
So here's your lines for today.
Oh, I have lines?
Yeah.
Do I really?
Didn't they tell you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so like right now, I'm petrified. So we've had 2 rehearsals. Talked to Frank. He's the main guy here. He relaxed me a little bit. And now we're gonna tape for real coming up. Just a couple minutes. Oof. Hey Nina, it was great seeing you. Give my best to your family.
That's such a fun memory, but I think I'll leave the acting to the pros. A reminder, General Hospital airs weekdays at 1 o'clock right here on Como.
Changing gears, Refine went nuts this summer exploring Western Washington's highways and byways. But the road trips don't have to end when the leaves start to fall.
Refine.com contributor Rebecca Mongrain just published her picks for her top trips to take advantage of the gorgeous fall foliage. And every single one of them is within 3 hours of Seattle. To learn more, log on to SeattleRefine.com. Slightly farther away, but definitely worth it, is a road trip to one of the epicenters of Washington's wine industry, Walla Walla. Refined foodie Frank Wanko has laid out a dream itinerary for how to best enjoy the Double W and all it has to offer. Just go to the site and search for Wino's Guide to Visiting Walla Walla.
A local company is helping adventurous folks explore the outdoors in style these days.
60 years ago, state-of-the-art trailers all sort of looked like the ones in this clip from the Lucille Ball movie, The Long, Long Trailer. But these days, those old metal and fiberglass behemoths are being replaced by sleek, modern, environmentally friendly versions that will launch you on adventure in high style. Refine's John Prentice explains.
It was a camping trip with his wife and kids that got Corey Weathers thinking there must be a more family-friendly way to enjoy the great outdoors.
Camping with kids, as a lot of people know, is always a little bit challenging, and after the trip realized that there was a need for something more than just a tent. And so we started looking at travel trailers and couldn't really find what we liked. We were at the Washington State Fair, and my daughter came out of a travel trailer that we were looking at and said, "Daddy, why don't we build a treehouse on wheels?" And that was it. That was the inspiration moment. So we said, can we build something that looks like a treehouse and has the functionality of a tiny house but meets the requirements of a travel trailer?
Starting from a simple drawing, the family went to work, building their own teardrop trailer. Once they hit the highway with their creation, Corey realized this family project could also be a fabulous business idea. Homegrown Trailers was born.
Literally, we pulled in the campground and people just started, like a magnet, started moving towards us and asking questions and wanting to inquire.
These trailers look classic, but they're completely modern. Handcrafted at their shop in Kirkland.
We use a natural Western red cedar. Fits into a natural environment better, and we wanted to use renewable materials.
And renewable energy, like solar power.
Oh, look at this! Now, is this gonna power my blender? That's all I really want to know.
You can power your blender, you can power literally just about anything.
We asked Corey if he could take us on a mini camping trip and show us all the features.
This is so cool! Let's take a look inside.
Let's do it, come on in.
Wow! This is actually pretty big inside. This thing's awesome.
We say it's deceptively spacious.
Yeah, and you have running water.
We do.
I mean, that's civilization right there.
It is civilization, and that's just the beginning. We got 23.5 gallons of water, including hot water. Back here we have an induction cooktop. which allows you to cook a variety of meals. 2 burners. We've got a great refrigerator that runs off of both 12 volt and 120 volt. A few items in there from our last exploration
last
as well.
adventure, I like it.
And then we have great storage. So lots of drawers and cabinet space for storing a variety of items. And one of the most beautiful aspects of the trailer is the shower. We actually use all of the leftover material from our production process to build these panels that line the shower.
That laminated wood really is just absolutely gorgeous.
Anytime we can find a use for scrap wood, all the better. There's also a composting toilet in here.
Tell me about these sleeping arrangements.
So a couple configurations. Right now we have it set up with a queen bed and twin bunks. We also take out that top bunk and can build it as a dinette.
Tell me about what some of this stuff is right here.
So this is kind of the master control center for the trailer. Solar panels on the rooftop feed the batteries. Batteries are stored underneath the bed.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Those batteries hold the power and then run all the appliances. And depending on what you're running, you can run for multiple days off of a single charge.
So you can go camping, you're off the grid, it's totally green, it's totally renewable. You know there's only one thing missing, right?
What's missing?
S'mores. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
TV, you have to work fast.
Yeah.
Time for a campfire.
No, that's too much work. Let's do it. I like mine a little more golden, a little less
more
brown.
gold. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Cheers. Oh.
Cheers. See? Now we're camping.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
To learn more about homegrown trailers or to watch that story again, check out the site. Seattle Refined is just getting started. Great food for even a better cause.
Putting together unique local ingredients and helping the community at the same time. That's kind of God's way.
We'll get a gourmet cooking lesson at Seattle's Fair Start Cafe. Spirits and Spirits, the local saloon where ghosts are just part of the nightly crowd.
Died and rolled down the steps.
But first, we want to tell you how to score designer duds and help local women all at the same time. Dress for Success is holding its designer treasure sale tomorrow and Thursday at Metropolis on First Avenue in Seattle. The high fashion extravaganza features deals on clothing, shoes, and handbags by top-notch designers like Prada and Gucci. 100% of the proceeds go to Dress for Success, which helps women succeed in the workplace. To learn more, log on to seattle.dressforsuccess.org. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, Halloween is still a few weeks away, but the Refined team is already in trick-or-treat mode. Now, we know not everyone believes in ghosts, but those who do tell us one of the most haunted places in Western Washington is a saloon in Snohomish, where spirits and spirits commingle every night. No doubt the Oxford is lively, but man, this place is super old. It has to have some cool stories in here. There is so much history here. You Gard? I am Gard.
I'm Brian, I'm the owner. Welcome to one of the most haunted bars in Washington.
I tried not to hesitate as I stepped up to the bar for some liquid courage, preparing myself for some pretty spooky stories.
Ooh. All right, tell me about this place.
Well, the Oxford was built in 1890. It's 127 years old. From 1890 to 1909, it was Blackman's grocery store, right? And then at 1910, it became the Oxford Saloon. 10 people have died here, 2 were murdered, 8 of natural causes.
Kidding?
No.
10 people have died in this building?
Correct, yeah. It's one of the most haunted buildings in Washington.
So tell me about that lady up there hanging from the ceiling. What's the deal with her?
That's Kathleen. That's one of the resident ghosts we have here.
As the story goes, Kathleen ran the brothel upstairs way back in the 1800s, and her death was just a little unsettling.
She was decapitated in the cloth bathtub that we still have upstairs.
Murdered upstairs?
Yep.
So she's one of the 10 that have died in this building?
Correct, yes.
Oh man, what other cool stories do you have here?
We got a bunch. A lot of them happen in our downstairs bar. Let me show you.
This place is creepy. No matter where you turn, there's a story. Like police officer Henry, who was murdered right here.
Yeah, he was stabbed, died, and rolled down the steps.
So he probably got stabbed like right in this area?
Correct.
Rolled down and died.
Yep.
One of your murders here.
Yep.
And this is a huge space here.
Yeah, this is our other bar down here.
What's the most recent ghost story you've had in this space down here?
Actually, about a month ago, I was here about 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a band member. She was finishing up, packing her stuff in. She didn't know the place was haunted, which a lot of our musicians don't. And she was like, hey, Brian, I'm gonna go wash my hands, and can you get my check for me? I was like, yeah, of course. So she runs downstairs. She's in there for 10 minutes. She comes up laughing up the stairs, and I'm like, everything all right? She's like, yeah, you have the nicest bartender downstairs. He told me the whole history about the building and about Henry and Kathleen.
Oh, no.
And
I know where this is going.
And I'm like, sweetie, I'm the only one here. I'm the only person here. And she just instantly pauses, turns white, walks over, picks her guitar up, and walks out the door.
She's been back?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a month ago.
Yeah.
And she swears she saw a ghost.
She said it? Yeah.
Oh, man. Brian, I'm out of here.
Hey,
I love your place. I'm out.
it.
See you, dude.
Thanks to all the folks at Seattle Haunts for providing our ghosts at Oxford Saloon. To learn more, log on to our website, seattlerefined.com. Coming up on Seattle Refined.
Let's be honest, sometimes if you want to heat up leftover mashed potatoes, it's kind of like, yeah, they don't taste quite as good.
We wave our magic wand at a plate of boring leftovers and transform them into an amazing new meal.
Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. It never ceases to amaze me how big a role food plays in our lives. Not only can cooking be cathartic and educational, as Washington's grown Christy Goranson explains, it can also be inspirational.
We're back in downtown Seattle at Fair Start. While this restaurant is a lunchtime favorite, it also doubles as a culinary job training placement program for disadvantaged individuals.
Putting together unique local ingredients and helping the community at the same time. And that's kind of God's work. So, yeah, so we have to really support it as much as we can. That's really important.
Well, one is close, it's great food, and I think more so it's a great opportunity to introduce people to Fair Start who may not be familiar.
And it's good food, right?
And it's great food.
I've had some great ups and some downs here. But coming to this program has put me on my feet on a new level and an empowerment in my mindset that I can do anything.
So what's next for you after this?
Ooh, what's next for me? Actually, I work at Safeco now. And that's before getting out of school, by way of coming to this program.
That is incredible. So it just opens up all sorts of doors?
It has opened up a lot of doors for myself and a lot of students.
Now I'm headed back into the kitchen to meet with Executive Chef Matthew Lassoff and learn how to cook a delicious dish using leftovers.
What are we going to make today?
We're going to make potato cakes with smoked salmon, creme fraiche, a little bit of microgreens, and some truffle oil.
That sounds awesome. So potato cakes, fairly easy to do, right?
Incredibly easy, incredibly quick to do.
The first step is to make an egg wash. After we finish cracking the eggs, our next stop is to whip them together and add our milk.
And a lot of times we'll encourage our students to whip on figure 8 just so they can...
Like that?
Exactly like that.
See, I'm already learning
No,
stuff.
you are a natural. You have definitely got that.
Once our egg wash is ready, we can start making our potato cakes.
So, make the patty. So form it with your fingers right there. Lovely.
Okay.
And that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can put it right in the flour.
Okay.
And dust it. And that's okay. And then you can take it and dunk it right in the egg wash.
Okay.
And you want to be careful not to splash. You don't want egg on your face.
No.
That's
I've been there.
And right in.
Okay, like that, and then
Just
here.
perfect like that.
And then.
Yeah, a little pink all over. Lovely.
After we finish breading the cakes, our next step is to fry them. First, we place the potato cake on a small bed of microgreens.
We've got that, and I'm going to take just a little creme fraiche and put it right on there. And here we go.
That looks so beautiful. Look at that.
So,
ta-da!
let's do it.
Dig in. Oh, those look crispy on the outside and soft on the inside.
Yes, I think we did a good job there, Christy.
Yes.
Oh my, delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Who knew that leftovers could be so decadent?
Look for more stories like that one from our friends at Washington Grown every Wednesday here on Refined. Seattle Refined will be right back.
If you Welcome back to the show. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, if you're like me, sometimes you just like to look at the pictures of all the beautiful homes around the city and just dream of what it would be like to live there. And today, we got a real doozy for you.
This beautiful Queen Anne home is on the market and has views of the Space Needle from nearly every room. It was built in 1900 and is completely restored. The price tag? $7.8 million. If that's in your price range or you just want to check out the listing, head to SeattleRefined.com.
All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Gard Swanson. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Refined.